Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be doing week 8 of our NFL special giveaway. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in. And for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. Okay, so today, you guys, we are doing week 8 of our NFL special giveaway. This is an 18-week rolling giveaway, and every week I'll be doing two teams on a nail set, and you'll have to vote on which team is going to win or lose. For now, they are playing against each other, but there is going to be a time where I've already done a nail for a team that is playing together, so there will be separate games you'll have to pay attention to. But for now, we're going to focus on this week's Thursday's game with the Minnesota Vikings against the LA Chargers. So, if you do not know the rules yet, I will have the voting open Tuesday and Wednesday up to the end of Wednesday night Eastern Time. Comment below your votes, and I will keep a tally of all the correct picks. And at the end of the NFL season, whoever has the most picks will win the giveaway. I'll have two winners. One will be a nail winner, and the other one will be a craft winner. If there is a tie with the picks, I will put them in their groups, whether it's nail or crafts, and I will spin the wheel, and whoever wins that way will win that. So anyway, I thought it'd be cool to incorporate some football into the nail world. I know some of us are just too busy to be consumed with sports. I know my life has completely changed. I used to kind of revolve around sports, and now I just do everything but. So I'm integrating the two, and at least you'll get to know some of the basic information for each team that you can dispel to whomever you want to impress, but it's not going to be much, so yeah, don't bank on some written sports Bible. That's probably the hubby's channel. But anyway, so Minnesota Vikings, let's talk a little bit about them. This is a lot of hand drawing. I thought it was going to be simple, and it fairly was. I mean, I did look at the Vikings mascot, and it freaked me out a little bit, but I managed to pull through. So as you know, I am going to be doing a Vikings theme set of nails, so bear with me. All right, so their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, and they are playing, like I said, Thursday against the Chargers, and they play for the NFC North Division along with the Packers, Lions, and Bears. Oh my. And currently they are last place in their division, but there's still plenty of weeks left to climb that ladder, so we'll see how they do throughout the season. In saying that, I know some of you have been kind of stagnant or slow moving in our little football fields that I post every week, but rest assured, we still have 10 more weeks. Oh my gosh, the football season is just flying. We have 10 more weeks left, so you still have time to catch up if you are behind. So, and let me just throw in, we have two leads that kind of stopped at week 4 or week 5. That would be Nails and Resin by E and the Nail Genie SC. They hadn't moved in the past 2 weeks, so I know some of you, like Sandra and Lena, are creeping up since being kind of stagnant in their place, so it's kind of fun and exciting to see. I'm trying to get the hubby to do the picks, but he doesn't do it. But anyway, so I would want to start talking about the Chargers. Ooh, but I have to talk about the stadiums. Okay, so it would be a really nice lifelong dream to kind of visit all these sports arenas. that would be me and hubby's kind of thing, and that, as you can imagine, could be so pricey. But instead, for the next, for these 18 weeks, I will be telling you all these stadiums. So if you live nearby or plan a trip to any one of these places, you'll know the names of it and everything. I'm not going to go into architecture because that's way too much information for this video. So the Minnesota Vikings do play in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they call it the US Bank Stadium. So again, it's one of those things that have a ring to it. Minnesota Vikings, obviously that's the state, but it's like never pinpointed as to exactly where they play. We had the discussion when we're talking about the New York Giants, New York Jets. That's neither here nor there. But now that we've mentioned this, I guess before we get into the Chargers, let's talk about the design. So I, haven't really been practicing my skill of art on nails lately, I feel. I mean, I spat it out every now and then, but it used to be before, as you know, that I hand drew everything, and it was anime, cartoon, all this jazz. And lately I've just been doing kind of an abstract design where I don't necessarily have to hand draw things. So I've been coasting. So this football season has really kicked up a storm for me, and we're not even, halfway through the other difficult logos that I'm going to be totally fearful of when it happens. But yeah, so I was like, all right, well, how do you draw a Viking? I don't know how I did this, you guys. I honestly don't. What I do is I just stare at a photo of it, and I just try to create lines in the same proportions as the photo. So I really was hoping for the best, because there's a lot of lines on this Viking, and there was just so much detail. And it seems lately that I have been oversizing the logos to where, as you can see, don't fit on the nail. So I don't know if I just helped myself out by not having to draw as much of the image because it's blown up, or if I did myself a disservice because it is out of proportion to the nail, so you don't get to see the whole mascot. I don't know. You can decide and comment below if you'd like. But yeah, I'm really loving the colors. If you don't know, most of the colors off of every sport use complementary colors. So when I took art, complementary colors are colors that obviously complement each other in tone, in contrast, in shade. So, that's why green and red always work so well for the holiday season. It's a complementary color. Purple and yellow are a complementary color, and I find that very interesting that they did it that way, and it works, and I like it, because as strange of a logo we have with this Viking, it's kind of pleasant to see because we've got orange and purple vibes, and it kind of brings it some sort of fun cartoonish look to it, so I'm not hating it, but yeah, most of the time when I'm doing line art, I don't know if it's helpful to anyone, but I think it's best if you do color blocking. So sometimes I'll do the outline first, but I always feel if you get stuck doing the outline first, you focus on so many different parts of the photo that you just end up getting a little too, controlling over spaces, and it can distort your drawing. So when I do color blocking like this, I'm coloring, well, now I'm doing the outline, but before, I'm just spacing out the colors, because you can always cover up the colors with a black liner. You can always cover up colors by putting another color layer on there. in case it gets too big or too small, or you can just clean it off with a brush. But I find it simpler to draw something, color blocking the shapes, and then coming back in after the fact and doing the lines. That way, if my hands were shaking and my lines aren't as crisp, I have a second shot at making sure that the detail work stands out, is crisp, is perfect, all that stuff. So I really like how this came out, and I'm shocked. I don't know how I did this. Obviously, besides saying what I just said, it's sometimes when you pull something off, you're just like, yeah, I don't know. Yep, I'll just take that. That was a lucky one. But it happens a lot, and I like I said, I am finding color blocking is better for me. But I do outline sometimes. But yeah, I think in some cases, like in the drawing world or painting world, it seems kind of backwards. But I think when it comes to a small, space like this, I just find it simpler and less, what's that word? I don't know. Gives me less anxiety. It's not the word I was looking for, but all right. So for this nail, I am drawing up Minnesota. And this is the state next to Idaho, because you're going to see that little face there on the right. That's all I remember, because I remember when they were pushing Idaho potatoes and their logo is their state, of course. But I was like, oh, there's a face. So it's fun how things come together. I think when you grow up on the West Coast, you don't even realize you have a middle and West Coast that exists. And I'm sure vice versa. But anyway, I'm going to take some rhinestone glue here and just locate where the stadium is. And again, it's in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm going to be using yellow rhinestones for this. And I think this, I'm starting to feel like there's a theme each video. So for this video, I'm not using too much bling. I'm not using too much glitter. It kind of stands on its own. The only bling on here is the rhinestone representing the stadium. So, and in the first few weeks, I did glitter galore. So, I am finding it fun that I'm kind of making a little theme within the theme, if that makes any sense. But clear coating all of these right now, and then we're gonna move on to our next team. So let's just get this done here. All right. Next team is the Los Angeles Chargers. When I was looking for a team, I was really looking at this team here. I'm not, I had my teams, but my players have retired. So I knew I had to pick a new team. I'm having a hard time committing, but I already committed. I committed to Mahomes when he came out, and I just made it official last year, which in turn jinxed them for life, maybe, since they lost the Super Bowl. But anyway, I was looking at this team because I like their coach, Sean McVay, one of the youngest coaches out there that ended up winning the Super Bowl. So it's really exciting when we have different groups break barriers, just change it up from the monotony of, the same people always winning. Anyway, let's talk about players. So their quarterback is Justin Herbert. And again, they are playing the Vikings on Thursday. And you will find them in the AFC West. They are in a division with the Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Raiders. So, obviously, the Chiefs are now my team, and unfortunately, they are higher than them right now. So, the Chargers are currently second in their division. But again, there's about 10 more weeks to change it up and see what happens to them. Obviously, I'm not going to want them to be higher than the Chiefs, but what can you do? And as for complementary colors to blue is orange, but this isn't pure blue. This is, I feel like their blue is more like a sky blue, maybe, something like that. So I guess you consider that yellow kind of an orange, a shade of orange. I don't know, I'm stretching. Let's stop stretching. But it's a pretty color, so I wanted to totally use my Holiday Lights Cat's Eye Gel for this one. The color matches so well. I looked up some of their helmets, and it does look like metallic like this. So what's best about it is I can activate the cat eye and make it glow, which was the other reason why I really didn't need any glitters or bling in this set. So that was that. Alright, where they play? They play in SoFi Stadium. Okay. And oh wow, that's crazy. Sorry, I got distracted. SoFi Stadium in Canada. Whoa. Alright, as you can tell, I am half asleep at the moment. It is getting late. But anyway, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, not Canada. And and I know there's some of you out there in the big CI, so comment below, let me know if you've been there. Their mascot is, I guess, this Charger Bolt. So I was kind of excited when I saw this because I knew it was going to be easier. So if I spent a year and a day on the Viking, I knew that, doing this logo would kind of catch me up on even times from filming. I try not to film too long. It seems like these football videos are taking the same amount of time. So it kind of washed out. Like I said, it took me forever to do the Viking, but the Charger Bolt took me not that long. The only problem that I had with this is what else I was going to do with the set, because that blue is so striking. I am adding it to their outline of the bolt. So that's why I went back in with this Holiday Cat's Eye Gel. However, I'm not activating it. I'm treating it as normal polish, which is best. With the Varnail Cat's Eye Gels, you can activate the metals within, or you can leave as is. Their Cat's Eye Gels are just so striking, so beautiful. And not just because I am a brand ambassador for Varnail. It really is. They've got some really great combos with collections too, with glitters, different size glitters, different kinds of metals and pigments. It's really nice. But yeah, so filling that in with the yellow, it's striking. I really like this set. I mean, too bad I'm not a committed fan, but it's really pretty nail set, I think. Okay, so for this one, obviously I'm doing the state of California, and then I'm going to be marking it where the stadium is in Inglewood. I'll be doing that for last. So yeah, I even asked Abby, like, what should I do with the rest of the nails? Comment below if you have any suggestions before I even start doing the rest of the nails. Okay, so while you're doing that, I will talk about what I did with the rest of the nails. I figured maybe I can do some striping, but I said, no, why don't I do thunderbolts as a French tip on a bias? You know me, I love my French tip on a bias. It breaks up the nail. It doesn't necessarily commit to a French, but it makes it so much more interesting when you divide your nail in a diagonal than just the basic, like, straight or like, the deep smile line, whatever you end up doing like that. But anyway, so I'm doing a huge thunderbolt, and I'm just going to fill in that bottom French with the yellow. So I think it looks pretty cute. And it's a great way to kind of still keep it subtle, because that background is just striking. And like I said, I did not want to add any glitters or do anything too crazy to take away from that polish. But yeah, so now I'm going to stick on the yellow rhinestone, the same one that I used for the Vikings nail, but I used a smaller rhinestone, so there is going to be variation. But I do like how in this video we kind of stuck with the same rhinestone color theme, and the same theme of not going too far and beyond, because again, like I said, those polishes are more than enough, that it needs to be extra special. So after I cure that, I'm going to go right ahead into this top coating of all the other nails, and then we're going to pop back in, you guys, and do the end result. Yeah, this editing is coming so late in the Tuesday that I have to post this, so I'm really relieved that I actually got it done. But here is the Vikings set, you guys. Comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're a fan. Aside from commenting on who will win, let me know which set you think looks best, because I do love this Viking. I'm so proud of myself. But on the other end of it, I do love that charger set. The colors are just so beautiful. But anyway, yeah, didn't know what to do here, and I'm so glad I ended up doing the horn. On their helmets, they have horns, so it kind of works. But yeah, it was one of those things like with the charger set, like what do I do with the other nails? I could have just left it blank because I really had no idea, but that would have been too bare, so I'm really glad that I thought of something. And this state nail, I really like the color combo that I picked. I'm glad I went with the purple state than the yellow, because it is, behind that background, it's just standing out so well with the detailing and everything. Alright, same question, you guys. Like, let me know what you think about this. Aside from who do you think will win, let me know if you like this set. What set you would pick. I mean, look at that craziness. I love that shift. It is just striking. Holiday light set. That was probably one of my most impressive collections that I got from Varnail, because the colors are just so bright, and it comes in 6 colors. It comes with all the basic ones you can think of. The red, blue, green, pink. I think there's purple. I think I'm missing one. Red, blue, pink, purple. I'm probably... Wait. Red, pink, purple, blue, green. Oh, what's the other one? I don't remember. But anyway, so bright. Love it. At any rate. Remember, voting will remain open till the end of Wednesday, Eastern Time, and then I will add the closed to the title so that you know I will not be accepting any more votes. So thank you so much for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. And I wanted to go ahead and thank my Josieism Tier 2 members. Thank you for all your support. Go check out Sandra Sparkley Sets and check out Conjure Up Nails, as well as the Nail Genie SC. Also, thank you so much for my other Josieism members. If you would like, go check out the perks and become a member today. Thanks. Bye.